And welcome back, Firewood Addicts, to another episode of Travis Says Firewood. Today, we are going to organize. Let's get it. So you saw in the last episode that I got this wood on the cheap, but it wasn't of the quantity and the quality that I was hoping for. So, nonetheless, it's here on my property, but it's in a pile. I was in a rush that day. I didn't have my dump trailer. I had the utility trailer that I was borrowing, and I literally just like hand toss it on the ground, and it's here. And it's partly covered, partly not. But I need to get it covered. Now, regardless if it's going to be stacked, regardless if it's going to be piled, it can't be on the ground. It can't be outside. It needs to be under cover. Now, I maintain that wood needs to be covered where I live. We get more rain than we do sun. We get more moisture than we do non-moisture. It is what it is. Where it all depends on where you live, where your wood yard is situated. If you have more dry days than you do wet days, sure, put in a pile, don't cover it ever. But in the Pacific Northwest, there's rain. The whole world knows that, and therefore I need to cover my wood. Right now the wood is uncovered because we had summer. Granted, it rained the last few days, but we're having a window of more sun, and then I'm sure fall is going to start. So I'll get these wood piles covered as soon as I can, but I want to get the last bit of raise on them before I do that. But this stuff here is on the ground. Literally, there's no pallets beneath it. It's on the ground. It needs to get up off the ground, and we're going to do that today. So, you want to help me? No? Come on, I need some help. This is going to take a few minutes. Can you help me or not? Fine, I'll do it myself. What we're going to do is we're going to separate like cookies from like the long pieces. Like this one here is going to be for like bonfire wood. Put that in the wheelbarrow, put it someplace else. The branches all burn personal, so I'll toss them over here. So just kind of like to get kind of organized. And I think that a lot of folks out there would be in the same camp when you're gonna stack your wood, you're going to pile the wood, to kind of organize it, organize it so you can use it. And because especially when you're gonna sell it, you want to know what you're selling. So quickly kind of like scout out the pieces. Some of the stuff is fine. I'm not sure if I want to sell wood with like mold on it, so I'll put that in personal burn. But yeah, so like the punky stuff that looks kind of punky, I don't feel comfortable selling that. So that's personal burn. I'll go over there, branches. But anyway, so I think this pertains mostly to selling the wood. It's time well spent to organize it as you split it. Not throw it in a big heap. Not stack it all in the one, but to put it in certain piles. Like I do think a lot of us run with the philosophy of burn the crap and sell the good stuff, and that's what I'm gonna follow. Okay, with this stuff, and I think we could break out even with this stuff, folks. I think we should be okay. I didn't mean to overact last time, but definitely was not too happy with the wood that I got. So a lot of this will go directly into making bundles or rack wood. A lot of this will go directly to make my bonfire wood that's at my firewood stand. Cause a lot of this is definitely dry stuff. It's just a matter of like the quality and condition of it. Like these pieces here, I'm just gonna put them aside and they'll be sold. I mean, they'll be burned in my own personal stash. I think it's time for a lot of us, if you haven't already, to start thinking about getting your chimney swept. You know, getting all prepared for the fall, because it's coming up, folks. I mean, like I feel that fall is definitely upon us, even though we have another month left of summer. But to be prepared, because I'm sure there's going to be some cold nights coming up soon before we actually get to the actual fall. The fall's going to hit differently for a lot of us, right? So we want to be prepared. We want to be all prepared for that. So what I'm doing now is taking all those oddball pieces, throwing them in the personal stuff that is at 16-ish, throwing it into my firewood stand wood. Anything short cookies, I'm gonna go to the cookie stand over here. Either way, it is what it is. And I think the people who commented in that recent episode that if you want to control level of quality, you just have to do it yourself. You have to get the wood yourself. You have to bucket yourself. You have to split it yourself. Because that's the only way. Now, I think levels of quality may differ between woodhound to woodhound, right? But if you claim to sell quality firewood, then you better be selling some quality firewood. Not just claim that, and then when the customer gets it, they're like, "Well, what is this? This is nonsense. This is not what I ordered. This is not quality by any definition, perhaps, right?" So you have to make sure that you're gonna be at that quality level, or you're gonna get the reputation, and then you will not get return customers. That just is what it is. Is what it is. So yeah, more cookies. Personal cookie. Personal. Any branch wood. Just I don't want to re-split anything, and they're small enough, and so I'm just gonna throw them and I'll burn them myself. They're kind of ugly pieces too. The wood is definitely old, and it's I don't feel comfortable with it. I could resell it in a tote for X amount of money. This I'll burn my personal, because I don't feel the time to cut that off. So, and I don't want to sell that with that branch on it. So I can definitely resell it again. But it's one of those things that I have to touch it one more time, because I have to deliver it type thing, and I'll make even. It's fine. We'll do this, and we should be okay. Yeah. All right. What was I saying? I forget. Anyway, this is the horn beam that I processed a few episodes ago, and to my right, your left is my sack of cookies. So in the horn beam, I'm gonna toss the longer pieces for the bonfire rack in here. Anything that's punky or branches, I'll toss up here with my cookie stuff, because I'll burn that this fall where it's not as hot. Toss the bark in the woods, and yeah, personal stuff goes up here So I think it's important to organize your wood, so then when you go to sell it, it's, see this piece, I don't like this piece. This piece looks ugly. It's maybe a 16 from long piece to long piece, but it just doesn't look good. So be personal wood. So it goes with the burn the crap. Burn the stuff that you can't sell. Bottom line. Bottom line. So stuff that's ugly and dirty, yeah, that's gonna be burnt. That's okay. That's okay. Still debating on, yeah, bonfire wood goes in here for now. Bonfire wood here, burnable, sellable. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be buying wood. Yeah, I need, like, even these long, like I got like long branches like this. Like I need to literally use my chainsaw to split this, and I don't want to do that. I bought ready to burn firewood, not logs. Crazy. Anyway, so with that, I don't know if I'm going to be buying split firewood again in the near future. Just been let down too many times, and a lot of you in the comments last episode said the same thing, is if you want to maintain level of quality, you have to do it yourself. Whatever quality level that is, you just have to do it yourself. Period. So I think that's just what I'm gonna have to be doing. So that's what I'll have to do. Just what I have to do. Just bring in wood, bucket at my 16, and then from there, like I'm doing here, to organize it. So then so I guess my point to this all is, so when I go to sell, because I sell in small quantities, I want to be able to load the wood stand as fast as possible, right? You want to be able to be as efficient as possible when you're loading, because time is money. Look at all these branches. Look at this, twigs. Time is money, right? So I think it's time well spent. Now, while I'm trying to sort this pile, and this pile here could be an example of just a split pile. Either you had a conveyor go into a truck or a trailer or into a pile, and then you're gonna sort it. Perhaps, right? Perhaps. But so an example of I'm gonna sort it, so then when you go to sell it, you know what stack. Look at another long piece here. I think that could fit my wood stuff. You know which section, which stack, which pile is what. And that could be and now we're not talking about species here, we're talking about quality level. Stuff that's gonna be like this, that's gonna be fine to make a bundle or a bag of wood. There's it's straight grained, it looks good, look at it caught up in the bag or the bundle, perfect bundle piece. Whereas this right here is too long, this is gonna be bonfire, so you put it in the bonfire section. Now if you're gonna be making bundles or like loose stacked wood for your firewood stand, you could have a whole pile like this or a stack, and where you stack it all together, right? All together. But then when you want to go make your bundles or your bags of wood or your loose racks of wood for your firewood stand, then you have to literally dig through here to find the wood you want to make that 1 or 2 bundles, or to make your 15 bags of wood, you loose stack wood, whatever it is, and that takes time. I think it's time well spent now to organize this wood now, so then, like I said before, when I want to go to you know what, I want to throw this in the bonfire. That's fine. Just when I want to go to make my orders to refill the wood stand, I can do so because it's all organized. being organized, I think, is time and energy well spent then as opposed to later. That's the point I'm trying to get across here. So this is an example of action. Like I'm physically showing you what I'm doing, but there's some yapping involved. There's some commentary here, and I think it's important to address and to discuss. And possibly a lot of you will differ with your opinion on this, and that's fine. That's totally fine. You can all have your opinions on this. Totally fine. I'm just saying that I think, as of right now, in my opinion, that this is time well spent to organize. Because when I want to refill the firewood stand, when I have an order of cedar blocks or punky wood, whatever it is I have an order for, I want to load it or restock it and go, or be done, because other things to do. So while I have a minute right now, while my son is sleeping, taking a nap, I'm going to organize this pile of wood that I bought, and maybe probably take inventory on how much wood is sellable. I think too, at least with this, how much wood is sellable that I can hopefully make my money back on the sale, matched with how much wood I gained that is going to be burned in my own wood stove, which I think that's okay. Because some of the wood, like this stuff here, it's of a quality. It's not the greatest of quality, but it's going to keep my family warm nonetheless. And I think I mentioned at the end of last winter, I was afraid that I didn't have enough personal wood because I was selling wood that I had intended to burn in my own fireplace. And that's my fault. And that goes with the discussion, the often debate of what to sell, what to burn, and perhaps the motto of not burning through your own stock. So I think that's one thing that I've had to grapple with. A few months ago, yeah. I think I may switch gears and continue to follow the burn the crap philosophy, the motto, perhaps the way of the Woodhound life that was brought to us by the fire gods, and forego the keeping wood, a certain species for myself, and the organizing the wood accordingly to quality. Quality in terms of, if it's punky, I burn it. If it's ugly, like naughty, like in the episode where I was talking about quality of wood type thing, if it doesn't look good to me, it's not gonna look good to the customer, throw that automatically in my burn pile. So it doesn't matter if it's soft, if it's hard. It has to do with if it's good quality wood / if it's ugly. I don't want to sell ugly wood. I want to sell stuff that people feel like people know and feel like they're getting a level of value. People can buy wood anywhere. Local hardware store, gas station. Heck, they can go in the woods and get their own firewood. But they buy your firewood because it's of a quality standard, and or it's the best bang for their value. Maybe you don't sell at a higher price range, but you get a lot of customers, right? So you can make money that way. That's one way of doing it. Or you have such a high standard of your quality of wood, and you sell at a high profit margin, and people still buy your firewood because they know every time they buy your firewood, it's gonna be dry, it's gonna look nice, and it does the job that they paid for. Whether it's gonna keep their home warm, it's gonna bake their pizza in their oven, whatever it is that they're using your wood for, it does the job. And there's no question about every piece is gonna be in that quality standard. So I think that's what I'm gonna switch to. Switch to anything that's crap or looking ugly automatically goes into my pile. Yes, I will still separate species, perhaps, but I don't necessarily need to maybe only keep the hard stuff for myself. I think that's what I'm leaning towards. For example, this hornbeam, I was gonna hoard for myself, and I may change up that mindset, that opinion, or the intention. I may do that. I'm not sure. We'll see how this goes. But I would like your opinion. I know a lot of you do the burn the crap philosophy. Well, is there a certain species that you only keep for yourself, that you don't sell? As of this past season, I have not had a lot of maple. So there's some good maple to be had in my area, but I haven't had access to any of that maple as of late. So literally the only hardwood I have, by definition of hardwood, I mean, I guess cottonwood is a hardwood, but no one in their minds will consider that a viable hardwood, right? So the only hardwood I have in my yard is this hornbeam, and I had premium maple for a while. No, I take that back. I have maple in the yard. I have maple because I'm selling it to my Sonic guy. But all that maple was intended to yeah, that's personal. Was intended to be burned in my own house when it gets the coldest here in the Northwest, which tends to be January, February, if I recall correctly. So, but yeah, I may need to rethink that, but I would like your thoughts. Those of you who do the burn the crap philosophy motto for your firewood, do you separate by species as well, or is all the crap you're gonna burn in your own personal wood stove, does that go into one big pile regardless of the species? Because you know it's just gonna be burned. It doesn't really matter, right? Like this piece here, this is naughty. This is gonna be a great piece, but it doesn't look very good to the customer. So this is gonna be personal burn. So that's my conundrum right now, folks. That's my question, and I'm gonna keep chewing on it. But I would like your opinion of it all. So I hope that what I'm asking makes sense of the question. But anyway, let's start to mess this up. Let's get this organized. So time lapse, go. Alright, so the pile that was here is now gone. Wanted to tidy up a little bit, so that's what's squared away. So there are various places that pile, the pieces in that pile went to. A few of the cookies went on top here of my fir softwood cookie pile. If you fell down, but this is my fir cookie pile to be sold in the totes this fall. It's summer. I mean, I could burn this, but it's quality wood, but they're cookies, they're off cut. So that sells a little bit, I think, more than my cedar chunks. I forget, I'll look back at my records, but yeah, so a few went in there, they're all ready to go. They're dry, which is good. The few longer branches are here on top of my champion to be bucked up with a chainsaw later. I filled up, for the most part, the top of my own personal burn cookie offcuts, wonky pieces, ugly pieces. They burn the crap pieces, right? They're in here, so I kind of threw them on top. So I'll probably get to that first this fall. Also, we have some rounds in the pile. The rounds here, I stacked them here. I'm not sure what to do with them. I may hand split, I may put them on the champion real quick, but most of this will be burned personal. Then in the front here too, we have bonfire wood. So again, if you're not familiar with my bonfire racks, they're loose stacked wood, sold for $30, and they're longer pieces, stuff that you can't put in a wood stove, but great for an outdoor campfire or bonfire. So that's what we have here, longer pieces, but they're smaller split, so I can mix this in with my bigger split pieces so they have more of a range of what they're getting. So we have, I mean, at least 2 bonfire racks worth of wood here, so that's $60. Okay, so bear that in mind. Behind it is more personal burn wood. I just had no place to put it that was undercover and dry, so this is all personal wood here, branches and weird cuts, like all the crap, right? All the crap, like the punky rotted wood, all thrown in here. Not ideal because it's next to my horn beam, but at least I know where it is. I know it's dry. It's up off the ground. It's in a shelter. It's still piled, but I know what it is, right? So I guess that the key is, you know where all your wood is, type thing. So the rest that was quality enough for bundle wood or my regular rack wood, I put where my current bundler is, right? So this is my bundling section, and in here is stuff that is small enough and quality enough for bundle wood, or at the point where it's big enough but still quality for my loose rack stacked wood that's going to be sold at $20 a rack. So this is going to be several bundles, several racks. Let's say, I don't know, let's say 2 racks at 40. So now we're at 90, and so what we need, several bundles. So just with that, I think I have broken even without selling anything yet. I have broken even on that sale in terms of wood that is sellable. But as you just saw, I did get wood that was burnable for me, so that will last, I don't know, a week or so. I can't, it's hard to judge sometimes because of the wood and the quality, whatever, and the BTUs as species. But that's wood that will keep my home warm, that will keep my family cozy this coming fall, because that's probably going to be the first wood that I burn potentially when I start to burn. As soon as, I mean, I think late September. I need to look back at my records. Each year I track what wood I'm burning when, and when I start burning and when I end burning. And I'm pretty sure last year I started burning mid-September. I could be wrong, but it was the year before. I'm pretty sure that I started sometime, I think, mid-October. So it's a weird one, but again, I need to get on getting my chimney cleaned so I feel safe enough to burn. So there you go, have it, folks. I think it's good to organize so you know what the wood is. But even if you don't sell firewood, but you do split and you have firewood and you stack or you pile, do you categorize? Even if you burn for yourself, do you still separate and categorize the wood? If you do, let me know. If you're selling wood, how do you separate? I'm sure you have to separate. If you sell wood, how do you separate? And do you go to the point where you separate as you process, or you separate as you are preparing to sell. I think those are two separate things, and you could argue that time-wise, there's a wash. It's done. But I feel that, at least for me, like I said before in this episode, when I want to sell now as fast as possible and get it out. So that's the time saved on that end. Where the time not saved, the time already spent, is now, for example, when I'm separating. So there's time saved at some point, and there's time spent at the other point. It all depends on where you want to spend it, where you want to save it. That's in my opinion. But let me know if that analysis makes sense. Let me know where you spend your time when you separate and categorize your own wood pile. So anyway, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate it. Until next time, life's too short to be a prick, so stay kind to one another. Be safe out there. Rock and roll. Keep cutting. Cheers.